as I said yesterday, I have trust in all of you. What is important here, these are very important inquiries. And I think members who are selected, they should avail themselves, give us time so that they can effectively and efficiently do this work. Because it's not about starting the inquiry and we start having issue of quorum. But other than that, what is important to at least advise my honorable members who are already selected before. I know it's not yet approved, but based on the list, I think whether we have the chair on any side, what is important, let the chair understand that he cannot solely make decisions as far as the committee is concerned. And whatever he has to do, he has to be in consultation with the committee members. Because one thing I observe here is like, okay, the selection was done based on based on parties. You know, this is why it's always important. During the ABC committee meeting, I raised it. You see, this is special committee. In fact, if the majority leader and the minority leader, if you collaborate your effort, maybe, you know, things will go right. Because at the end of the day, we have political parties. But each political parties, if you control among yourself, it will be very easy. Then we will not have any this thing. Because at the end of the day, you know, when we come here, we start pointing fingers at each other. It will create that kind of enmity among ourselves. And we are here to serve the interest of the general interest of the Gambian people. So on that note, Honorable Speaker, I just want to, you know, encourage the members, let them know this is a very serious inquiry, and we don't want the mistake that has been done by the Jammeh Commission, whatever, you know, to happen as far as the Assembly is concerned. So this is why you are going to represent us as an Assembly, but at the end of the day, we will all, you know, try to put our input during the laying of the report, and to ensure that at least truth is prevailed. Because at the end of the day, this is something that we need to encourage. It shouldn't just be whether this is affecting the former president or not. He is a citizen, and we have all right to do this. So this is why, on behalf of the Gambian people, I want to thank the Parliament and also the majority leader for bringing this motion, but equally the members who are going to serve in this committee, please, let's do the needful and avoid external influence, and let our leaders allow us to do the needful for the general interest of the Gambian people. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Member for Bundua Kokunda. I now call upon the Honorable Deputy Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Yes, I will be maybe under a minute or so. Honorable members, I want to thank everybody. I had a lot of disagreement from contributions by members in respect of this, and I thought we should have done the job earlier than now, because it was a list presented to us. You either in agreement with the list or not. And some of the arguments that I had are not welcoming, because we all came together as one block and called for the extraordinary session. And the names that are suggested here by the selection committee are based on political grouping. Not about, it is important to consider gender, whatever you do. But here it's about political grouping. And we have political parties that has, of course, both male and female, and for one reason or the other, either by omission or by engagement, for the best interest of this committee, choose to bring these people. The issue of chair, vice chair, membership should not be an issue with members of parliament. What we should have done, our grouping have nominated these people, is to give them the mandate and support them. When this was happening in 2018, 2019, we have political grouping, either coalition of comprising of a lot of political parties, and the APRC and the GDC, they are all political parties. And members of parliament who are here, all those members of this committee, one way or the other, all of us belong to political grouping and orientation. What we need to do is for them to serve at the behest and pleasure of the parliament. And when you talk about the parliament, it's the Gambian people. We believe that these people can represent parliament. Now, the issue of personality, the issue of chair, the issue of gender, the issue of A, B, C, and Z, that's become personality, personal. And that should not happen. I want to appeal on all the grouping. We belong to caucuses. Your group have decided to nominate those. You belong to minority or majority caucus. We are now in the chambers. I want to appeal on all of us, whether NPP, NRP, UDP, or APRC. Every speaker yesterday and today talked about the importance of this extraordinary. We say, let's forget about personal. Let's think about the state. Let's think about the youth. Let's think about what happened. Let's think about the economic crime being alleged to have been committed. That's what we say. Now, when it comes to selecting 5 or 7 among us, everybody wants to ensure that his or her friend is selected. It's not correct. It is not correct. It's astonishing to hear somebody talk about because of FPAC and PEC, because it is established by the standing orders. And there is a reason. And a special select committee is to be chosen and to be decided by plenary. There is nowhere where you can say the chair can come from this, from that. But when you talk about political grouping, in parliament around the world, you have majority and minority. And when you are selecting, you look at those issues. And especially in terms of leadership of those, you take into account of those things. You must behave, honorable member, please. You must behave. We are not joking. I want to appeal on others. I had other members say that I want to appeal on you, the honorable member for Lower Salon, and others. Please, I want to appeal on you. Let us be united and approve this list. That's my personal plea. And because it is not also a joint committee, you cannot talk about a co-chair. Please, honorable members, I want to appeal that let's settle on this so that they can go to work. We have a lot of things to do. That is my appeal, honorable Speaker. I want to appeal on the minority and majority caucuses and their leaders for us to look at the list in the interest of the state and approve it. There are a lot of arguments, a lot of people. But I also had Maimuna Sise, nominated member, and others. She said she herself recused herself from this. And that's magnanimous, we must commend her. We had others also who recused themselves. That's magnanimous. Let us not see individual. Members of this committee, let me not say because I'm sitting here, I'm not part of this committee, Facebook or social media or the mainstream media, it's not about show business. It's about go and look at what is there. And you must have the capacity. And in the chair, some said you have to be strong. It's not about dodgy. It's not about being lousy. It's not about being calm. It's not about being double standard. It's about being upright. You can be calm, but you are a very strong person. You can be calm, but you believe in what you are doing. You can be a calm person.
Point of order, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, 96 membership of the committees. Clause 96, subclause 3. except as provided in Standing Order 111, Committee of Selection. Every committee shall be constituted as far as is possible to ensure that there is balance of political parties. Now, 2, committees shall consist of such members as may be nominated by the Committee of Selection and approved by the Assembly on a motion tabled by the Committee of Selection. So what members have done, the Selection Committee has done their work. It's left with us now to confirm, and this is what we are doing now.
Honorable, but you are making a statement. What is your point of order?
My point of order is 96-2.
Read
Now, Honorable, yes. The Deputy Speaker is, yes. No, read. I'm not going to read. Read now. I read it. I'm not going to read.
96-2.
Yes.
Reads, committees shall consist of such members as may be nominated by the Committee of Selection and approved by the Assembly on a motion tabled by the Committee of Selection. What is said and done that contravenes this provision?
The Deputy Speaker is talking as if members who spoke here this morning to recommend certain members to be part of this, then it's not done. So, and it's backed by the Standing Order. I think we are on track to recommend.
What the Deputy Speaker said.
No, that's what he's doing exactly.
Honorable, you are insinuating. We all listen to him. And we listen to other members. Because I am not throwing your time. Yesterday you were clapping for me. So, Honorable Deputy Speaker, can you continue, please?
Honorable Speaker, you know the Honorable Member for Central Badibu, he's my elder brother, his younger brother was my childhood friend. And you have some members of parliament here, when the Deputy Speaker speaks and the media is present, they want to challenge the Deputy Speaker and the gallery so that they can cover for them. So I want to thank him for that. Yeah, I want to thank you for that. They are here. Some of them, they like to challenge me so that
Honorable, look at this Latrikunda, what's wrong with you?
So, Honorable Speaker,
Minority, why don't you talk to Latrikunda? Help us. He was clapping his hands, knee. He was shouting on him. Why? Look at all these young people here. Please, Honorable Member for Latrikunda. It is troubling to see you disturbing the assembly. Wallahi. Please, I am personally appealing to you. You must summon some courage and then take whatever people are saying. Be thick-skinned. You cannot be a parliamentarian if you are light-skinned, because people will say something you don't like. Anything people say you think you will like it, then don't be a parliamentarian. Please allow people to, when you are talking, I will not want anybody to disturb you. So equally, if people are talking, I will not want you to disturb them. Please, I'm appealing for the last time, please. Yes, Honorable Deputy Speaker.
Honorable Speaker, to conclude, I want to say that each and every one of us who spoke agreed and accepted the fact that those nominated can be equal to the task and are men of substance and are men who can represent this assembly. And that's what is important. It's not about you being there or me being there or not. I want to appeal once more on everybody. Let us vote in unison, unanimously, and to portray, because if you are starting this whole exercise, we must be seen by the public as united in purpose. And the purpose is to get the job done. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Deputy Speaker. I now invite the Honorable Member for Upper Salu.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. And thank you very much, the Select Committee, for a job that you have done which is really not an easy task. Because to choose 7 of your colleagues to represent this parliament out of 58 cannot be an easy task. And I think this time around also it wasn't, and we must thank you for your objectivity. Honorable Speaker, honestly, I didn't want to say anything because I'm one of those people that has been nominated. I didn't want to say, but sometimes keeping quiet may mean something, and that's why I have to stand to clear certain things. Honorable Speaker, yes, I am one of those people in this parliament here that's in 5 different committees, but I do not lobby anybody to put me in any committee. I don't. I have not asked anybody, the selected committee, to put me in any committee. I do not do that. But I'm ready to serve this country at any particular time. I'm ready to do that. My membership to any of these committees, international also, it was the same procedure also. I did not ask anybody to put me on the Pan-African Parliament. I did not. But being a member of the Pan-African Parliament, if they trust me to lead the West African delegation, who am I to say no to that? Because these are privileges of a lifetime. The work that I do for this parliament, the work I do for this country is just a privilege because it ends here. And that's the reason why when I stood in that podium in 2022, and even to go back to 2027, I said I will do my work without fear, favor, or ill will. And I still keep to that. Honorable Speaker, we have various committees here. And I'm not too sure, based on the committee I'm in, there is no one that could stand here and say, since 2022 until to date, all your committee meetings you have attended. I don't think any member can stand and say that all the meetings I am supposed to attend in this parliament from 2022 to date, you have attended. For various reasons. And that is understandable. And for me, in passing, I work with every single person in this building here. Staff or a member of parliament, and I respect every single person. No qualms for anybody. I'm here to work. And whenever I'm called upon, I'll do it without hesitation. That's what it is. Honorable Speaker, I know since yesterday, I mean, we can go and check the records here. And I'm going to read this parliamentary question here. This question in 2020 came from me. And I said, as the Jammeh Commission has submitted their findings to the President of the Republic in 2019 with recommendations, what legal framework is the Minister of Justice using in recovering of assets, and who are those responsible in the process of recovery, assessment, and the sale of those properties? Who sent this question in 2020? So, but the thing is, it's not about putting questions. What we want is, let's have everything on the table. And what people are asking for is very clear. Let's be transparent, and that's exactly what we're trying to do. When I asked this question, the responses I had in the former Minister of Justice then, I was satisfied. And the members that were here, they were satisfied at the time. So, this is a collective responsibility. And if the parliament works fine, I'm part of it. If it fails, I'm also part of it. I do not shy away from this thing. But the last thing I would do as a person is self-aggrandizement. I can't do that. I'll work with all of you. If you are successful, I am successful. If you fail, I fail. That's it. Nothing else. Now, just to say one last thing here is we need to work together, and we need to move beyond party politics. You see, whatever we do here is in this dunya, and whether it's good or bad, but what is important is the legacy that we leave in this country. That's what is important. And that's the reason why we must move beyond party politics. I am NPP, I am PP, and for me it's not important. What is important is the task that's given to you as a member of parliament for you to deliver to the government population. That's the most important thing, regardless of where you come from. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Upper Salum. Honorable members, may I now call upon the mover of the motion to respond to the issues raised? Pardon? Why not? Your name is not on the list. You want to say a few things? Okay, let me allow you. No.
Okay.
Honorable.
Maybe some oversight.
Central Badibu. Huh? Central Badibu.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I'm a member of the Selection Committee. As the National Assembly procedures applies, things of this nature, the Office of the Clerk, that is the technical arm, will look into the process and propose nominations for the consideration of the Selection Committee. They are in possession of the files of all the members that inform how selection is done, even up to membership in the respective committees. So this being a special select committee, that train is what had been taken. The committee sat this morning and thoroughly looked into the submission proposed by the technicians. I want to inform this august House that most of what members are talking about were views that were expressed during the Selection Committee meeting. Members can attest to that. The members is very few, but the debate, I will tell you, that was even more intense than what we are finding here. That means this was thoroughly scrutinized before we arrived to this position. Of course, as a committee, we will have our divergent views and divergent positions. Collectively, however, a committee is bound to take decision, and that has to be based on either consensus or majority's view. So the reality was that the committee endeavored to do our best and resolve to this. It was not the initial making that all parties were reflected, but due to thorough scrutiny, we came with a conclusion: instead of party representation, let's have the group representation. That is the majority group and the minority group. Majority being the majority numbers in the assembly should have 4. Minority can have 3. Can majority look into their members and propose? Minority look into their members and propose. Based on that, we did that and did our submission to the committee for adoption. I think the majority will talk about his side. I will talk about my side, Honorable Speaker. It happened that majority...
Honorable,
Yes?
I think you are competent to talk on all sides.
Fine. I mean, I can equally do that as well.
Yes, because
then he will wrap up.
not a discussion or a meeting.
Well, fine.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, well, yeah. I'll begin with the minority. We agree in principle that we have 3 being a minority. And in the minority, we have 2 political parties and independent members. Initially, what was alluded to minority, a party had 2 representation plus 1 independent. And that happened to be my party. As a leader, heading a complicated group where we have independents with such a number, if I want to take 2 on my side, that is the party I belong to, I think that will not be fair. That's why I say my party should readily give 1 to the independent group that has equally a high number in the group, or to another party. Now that happens, we have UDP and PDOIS, UDP Karilingis, one for PDOIS, and then the other independent can stay. And that's why we have the three. And on that also, looking at the complex nature of the inquiry and commitment and to time based on the members' other activities within the assembly and outside the assembly. We have to factor all that. We don't doubt anyone's competence. That is something we have to stress. Where we found that from the side of the UDP, the name that was given, there were two names that were given. The names that were given, Honorable Mahdi Sise and Honorable Fatou Cham. We have to strike balance. One stay, and then we forgo the other one for PDOIS. Informally, we concluded that let Mahdi stay because of his leadership in the party. If I am not there as the leader of the minority, I believe that somebody equally a leader should come in. If not the minority, deputy minority leader or the chief whip, one of them should be there if I am not there. But I don't doubt anyone's potential. Of course, I'm very sensitive to gender, but this is the predicament we found ourselves. We have only one. We were anticipating, at our level, we were anticipating that the gender will come. We will have all the parties to be represented, and then gender will come. And when gender comes, of course, we were at that advantage to have that gender seat. You can ask all of them what we propose. For party representation, NPP, UDP, NRP, APRC, PDOIS, 5 political parties. Then independent, 6. And then the 7th one will be nominated/female. In the event there is no female selected from any of the political parties, automatically the nominated will be foregone for female. This was our submission. But we found that practically difficult. We could not convince each other, and we had to reach a compromise that brought about the number to the group. Majority 4, minority 3. If we have succeeded that way, we'll have the independent. But when it came to that, and you have the 2 from UDP, PDOIS is there, to me it will be very unfair for PDOIS to be left for 2 of the UDP. And of course, as far as leadership is concerned, if I am not there, one of my immediate leaders should be there. That is why it made gender difficult on my side. And maybe majority also will say, fine, if it's not possible for minority, majority can also struggle to get the gender. He will talk about that. Right now, Honorable Jawara is performing Hajj. Honorable Sise supposed to travel. And that's the only 2 independent for now, maybe formally, or if I may be informal, maybe formally. If I may be informal, there's another female added. So this is the situation. On the issue of chairing, that was something that was intensely debated. In fact, the agreement at selection was even more intense than what I'm hearing here. They can all attest to that. The reason I advance, UDP was in the government. NPP is in the government. If you claim that you were not in the government, but now you are in the government. NRP is in the government. APRC is the one advocating for the release of everything that has to do with the assets of the former President Jammeh, how were they sold and disposed. To me, they are an interest. And that's why I concluded all these 4 or 5 parties are interests here. They should not be heading this committee. I concluded that the party that I consider not to be conflicting here is PDIS. That's why I submitted that honorable member from PDIS, whoever they will be nominating, should care. But the committee has a different view. We are all conflicted. This is the position of the committee. If I argue that only but one is not conflicted, committee is with the belief that we are all conflicted. And that result to the chair being maintained. You can see how this was discussed. A result to honorable members, this is a committee. Yesterday I listened to the speech of the president. He was supposed to come with an inquiry. But now, according to him, the parliament is already conducting an inquiry. I don't know what informed that. The advisors should guide the president. We are not conducting an inquiry. We are in the process of setting a committee to conduct an inquiry. For people to advise the president that the parliament is conducting an inquiry, that's an ill advice. That's an ill advice. The president is focusing on this very seriously. That's why he said he did not want to set an inquiry. Therefore, my conclusion is, those who are fortunate to be selected from the lot, you have a tax. We have been making resolutions in this August Assembly, reports in this August Assembly. The last time I submitted an update on the FPAC resolutions, the response from the executive was not quite appreciative by this plenary. Their expectation was very low. We were disappointed in acting to what has been resolved in this August Assembly. Now, if the executive is putting all eyes to this committee and this assembly, as far as this matter is concerned, it should serve as a litmus test to their commitment to the work of this August Assembly. If you are privileged to be there, you are not there for the executive. You are there for this August Assembly, you are there for the Gambians, and you are there for the whistleblowers, these young people who made the executive, who made the National Assembly to act this way. If you fail in your responsibility to be attending the sessions, we are seeing how some committees struggle to get quorum. I wish it will not be this committee. We are seeing how certain members sit in the committees. I wish it's not this committee. And sometimes also it happens here when it comes to preparing your report. And if it takes you to prepare resolutions, we are seeing, or we have seen, how committee will struggle to get a quorum to adopt a report because of conflicting interests. We are seeing, when it comes to resolutions, how committees will struggle to get quorum to prepare a resolution because of conflicting interests. And we are seeing, when it comes to approving or adopting those resolutions, how even committee members will vote against their own resolution or their own report because of what I may call it conflicting interests. I wish it's never this committee. I have trust and confidence. I know how I struggle to have this number the way it is. With that, I have trust and confidence in you. And I believe you will live to expectation. And this is going to be an opener for the executive to take this National Assembly seriously. It is not only going to be this committee, it is going to be any work that we do. Executive should ensure that it is implemented and enforced to the letter. It should not be there to be gathering dust. On that, I thank you.
Yeah, honorable member, I was going to intervene a little bit. But what happened is, honorable, you made a statement until you talked about everybody conflicted, except I think PDOI said, and even APRC is conflicted. That is, we inquire into how the assets were disposed. But that's the voice of the Gambian people. It's the Gambians who are now saying, investigate. So APRC is not conflicted. We are not.
We are not also conflicted.
Honorable, and I don't share this view. Honorable, your view, Honorable, the problem is, honorable members, honorable, the Assembly, the National Assembly, is an oversight over the executive. I don't know how members of the Assembly can feel frustrated because of lack of or non-implementation of certain things. Because you have the powers to call anybody here, take him to task, and do whatever, and do the needful. So I don't know, when the members of a parliament go to say they are frustrated, then something is wrong. How can you be frustrated? You are empowered by the Gambian people, given the powers to be a check on everybody. Everybody in the Gambia is answerable and accountable to you. And you are not answerable and accountable to anybody except the people. So anything that is missing out, Gambians will point at you.
Point of order, Honorable Speaker.
Order.
Point of order.
Yes?
Yeah, Honorable Speaker, 26(4). The Speaker shall not take part in any debate before.
I'm not taking part.
No, but what the
I am not. No. Taking part in a debate. I am making corrections. I am saying what is there. I am also the chairman, the leader, and the speaker. So I have to oversee what things are. If you are going out to mislead people or to misinform, I'll come in. That's not participation. So, honorable members, now we will call on the honorable mover of the motion, that's the majority leader and member for Kantora, and of course a member of the committee of selection, to respond to the issues raised and the wind of the debate. Honorable majority leader, please.
They are saying summarize. This morning, I've listened very keenly. About 28 members of parliament took the podium and spoke on the motion. Honorable Speaker, first of all, let me register my profound gratitude and appreciation to each and every member who took the floor and those that chose not to take the floor. But of course, they are present here in this hollow chamber, demonstrate and portray that it is a clarion call, and they've come to answer to that call. I'm in a very great appreciation to that. Honorable Speaker, if I should go by constituencies, probably I would not really manage time of the assembly. These are after 4 p.m. now. However, concerns are overlapping. And I think if I pick up the latter part of the minority, that is not really, to me, it's not really necessary to explain the divergent views in the committee of selection. However, it's our report, and we must accept the outcome, no matter how it is. And of course, as he alluded, we first of all look at party representation. But even if we look at party representation, it's because of patriotism that some party will graciously be allowed to be represented just one seat. Parliament is two sides, the side of the majority and the side of minority. And parliaments are numerical strength. And if we are to measure numerical strength, both the UDP and NPP will not accept one seat in that committee. But we have to let go things for us to arrive and make a consensus. It is based on that we had an approach that since Parliament is two sides, the majority and minority, and it's 7 members of Parliament that should occupy the seat. Let's give 3 to the minority and give 4 to the majority. And based on that, let them go and reprioritize within priorities to come up with this list. And these are done with the best interests of this country. I want to allay your fears. Any member that you've seen in the list are up to the task. What I can do as a member of the motion and also as a leader is to appeal to both sides of the House to really give their blessing. And it's not about who represents there. That is why we have changed a different trajectory in the sense that we are now allowing a lead counsel now to be the lead questioner, to be interrogated now. And members of Parliament will be like a backup. And they'll be, at liberty to ask any question they deem necessary. What is important is that we are giving the Gambians what they are asking for. At the end of the day, glory does not come to Bile Tunkara, who was the initiator or the mover of motion. No, the glory comes to this Parliament and the entire country at large. I wouldn't really want to go in terms of party politics that deputy majorities should not chair this thing. But there is nobody who wants transparency than the current government. And there is nobody who will open up that investigation to be open, and anybody who is at stake, as the President mentioned, I am not the father or mother of anybody. Please do not leave any stone unturned. We would advise them to make sure that they are upright people. We trust them. They are people of integrity. They have an abundance of integrity in them. And they should live up to expectation. If it's about personal interest, I would have said because of I was the initiator or I'm the one that instead of the signature, I'm also part of this thing. It's not about me. It's not about me. It's about the Parliament. And I'm appealing. I wouldn't really want to go to all what has been said by each member. It's not necessary. But what I'm saying, let me join the minority leader and also, of course, Deputy Speaker, to re-appeal, to amplify my voice, to their voices, for us to really please, let us not be divided in this. If we do that, the very citizens who are watching us today were even eroding the confidence on this committee. If we try to put on political caps, we are somewhat eroding the internal confidence they have in us. So it's a moment for us to stand in solidarity with each other and make sure that regardless, you can be an engineer, you can be a quantity surveyor. Nothing stops you from really supporting the committee with your expertise. It doesn't matter who is leading. I wouldn't really want to go that it was a news editor who was selected. No. Regardless, whether a poetry person or editor or whatever, or accountant or whatever, what is important, the committee has terms of reference. And you can't do otherwise. It's within those contexts and those scope that you have to operate. And you are guided by a very seasoned and adequate, well-resourced, knowledgeable support staff as far as Parliament is concerned. And I want to assure you that Parliament will get every necessary support to make this inquiry a top-notch. Parliament, both the leadership, the office of the clerk, we are ready to make sure that we give the necessary support to this committee to make sure that the intention, the very aims and objectives are achieved. Transparency and accountability must be ascertained. And I recall again. Lastly, is to assure the general public that we will welcome the live streaming. Each of their sitting will be in camera. And secondly, also, is just to assure people that these members will certainly prioritize this job as opposed to any internal engagement. So let us just have the trust in them and also push them, have belief in them. They will certainly, I repeat, certainly prioritize external engagement as opposed to national engagement. I thank you so much for indulgence.
Motion. Thank you very much, Honorable Majority Leader and the mover of the motion. Honorable members, let me thank all of you.
Motion.
Motion. Somebody is talking.
Motion. Yes, 53K. I want to propose an amendment to the original motion. Yes.
Member of Central Body.
Yes.
Read 53K.
53K, a motion agreed by Speaker to be a matter of urgency.
So allow me to continue. Allow me to continue.
I want to put up, my motion is on the amendment of the names that we submitted. If you put it to vote, we vote, it will be useless. And members are saying that they want changes on the list. Yes.
Sorry. What I'm saying is, if now, what you are going to propose, after it's going to be another thing, and then we are going to put it to a vote. And it may come back to the same square one. No, if it is seconded, without agreement, when we now come, we are going to vote. It's going to be the same thing. So that's what we are doing. If you are not in agreement, don't vote for it.
The ruling, you remember the ruling that you made last time?
Honorable Speaker.
The ruling that you made to a motion. This is a motion that is laid before us. So now the wrap-up is done. Before we go into voting, members spoke during the debate that they want amendment to the motion. So we need to work on the amendment before you do the final voting. That's my suggestion.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker.
What honorable member from there, Honorable Deputy Speaker.
What honorable member for Central Badu failed to understand is, right now, if we vote on those who are in for this motion, yes or no, it's the same thing. So it's the same amendment. Those who are not in for this original motion can say no, so that later when they win the votes, we can go for amendment.
I think, is it Honorable Deputy Speaker?
Yes, Honorable Speaker, it's the same. And also, he moved a motion agreed by the Speaker. You must have seen the motion and you must have agreed with the motion. So he is out of order. We can go ahead and vote.
So, honorable members, let me thank all of you. The beauty of democracy and parliament is to hear divergent views so that we can make informed decisions on it. And therefore, I am heartened and I must thank all of you, those who participated and even those who never participated. Honorable members, I will now put the question. Be it resolved that this honorable assembly do adopt the report of the Committee of Selection nominating membership to the Special Select Committee inquiry into all matters relating to the sale and disposal of the assets identified by the Commission of Inquiry into the financial activities of public bodies, enterprises, and offices as regards their dealings with former President Yahya A.J.J. Jammeh and connected matters. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. No. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. 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 Yeah. Honorable members, what I try to listen to, please, what I try to listen to is the number of voices saying yes or no. You know, somebody can just even use a microphone or this thing and shout, but at least I like to listen to the number of voices. So it looks like it seems to be balanced for me. And I know the end result may be that whatever side I call, they will say, yeah. Those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Those not in favor, please say no. No. The ayes have it. Division. No, division. Now, honorable members, division. And therefore, we will count, we will ask you to rake your tax for that week you believe. Hey, are you ready? Huh? All right, honorable members, those in favor of the motion, please raise your tax up. Let it be seen, please. Kana wulu nyokan de bita jele aliyafu mo kana moy go there aliyafu ayalon Honorable members, those against the motion, please raise your tags up. Hey, honorable, please. Don't force people to vote or not to vote, please. Are you ready? Honorable members, those abstaining, abstentions. Honorable members, the results of the vote. The ayes, 24-24. The noes, 16-16. Abstentions, 1. So the ayes have it. Sorry. Go. No. Honorable members, the establishment of this special select committee to inquire into the alleged mismanagement of properties and assets belonging to former President Yahya A.J.J. Jammeh is a clear demonstration of this Parliament's commitment to truth, accountability, and justice. The Gambian people have entrusted us not merely with the power to legislate, but with the solemn duty to uphold the principles of good governance, transparency, and the rule of law. Honorable members, let us be reminded that out of the lot of many you were selected from, your mandate is both sensitive and consequential. In carrying out this inquiry, you are conferred with the trust of not only examining material assets and safeguarding public trust and protecting the integrity of our democratic institutions. I have no doubt that you, the selected few, are committed, patriotic, and dignified enough to do justice to your assignment. You are tasked with uncovering the truth surrounding the acquisition, handling, and possible misuse or unlawful disposal of state assets linked to the former president. Your findings will not only inform this Assembly and the wider public, but may also shape future efforts to strengthen accountability and the justice in our governance process. This task will be neither simple nor without its challenges. However, you will be required to navigate sensitive information, scrutinize complex transactions, and make difficult determinations. I urge you to approach this inquiry with impartiality, thoroughness, and a sense of national duty that transcends political affiliations or external influence. The work you do here has the potential to shape public perception of governance in the Gambia for years to come. Let it be said that this committee discharge its mandate with honor, diligence, and fairness. Let the process be grounded in facts, guided by law, and driven by a genuine desire to serve justice. As Speaker of this Honorable Assembly, I pledge my full support to this committee. I encourage all stakeholders, public institutions, civil servants, private entities, and the general public to cooperate fully with your investigation. In closing, honorable members, I remind you that history will judge not just the conclusions you reach, but the integrity with which you conduct this process. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guide you. May wisdom and patriotism also guide your deliberations. I thank you very much. On that note, honorable members, I now put the questions that be resolved that this honorable assembly do stand adjourned, sign die. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. This assembly now stands adjourned, sign die.